I should think about things is God. See, I married another.
And there it is. My husband is not Jesus, so he can't tell me what to do. Gentlemen, this is a ploy that Christian women like to use to escape accountability. They call Jesus and God their ultimate authority because nobody can see or hear Jesus and God. Just like Kay Michelle said when Derek Jackson asked her, well, what's your top 1%? Jesus and Obama. Right? She knows that she's not getting with Jesus or Obama, so that's the standard that she sets for herself. A man can tell his wife, don't go to work dressed like you're going to the club. And she can say, well, you can't tell me what to do. You're not God. Women also like to say, only God can judge me. And they say this because they can't see or hear God's judgment when they make bad decisions. They don't want to hear that the choices they're making are destructive. They don't want to hear people call them out on their bad behavior, so they point to something that nobody has ever heard or seen and say that that thing is the ultimate judge. Miss Emerson is doing the same thing here, guys. She doesn't want to obey her husband, so she's telling us that God is the only man she'll listen to in order to give herself permission to disobey her husband and do whatever the hell she wants. All Christian women do this, guys. This is why when Stefan Molyneux tells men to look for women in the church, I laugh my ass off. God bless Stefan because he makes a lot of good point, but advising men to look for women in the church is about as ridiculous as taking dating advice from women.
Sinful.
Oh, and by the way, and I know I have the picture blown out, but in parenthesis, I'm going to read what's in parenthesis at the bottom of the screen here while she's talking about, basically telling us that only God could judge me and tell me what to do. For those of you guys listening, it says, quote, obviously, I still want David's opinion because we're a team, but he is not my ultimate authority. Translation, I'll listen to what you have to say to give you the impression that I give a damn about what you said, but in the end, I'm going to do what I want. Women who say that God is their ultimate authority is using this as a buffer to dismiss a man's authority the same way single mothers use their children as a buffer to not have sex with the simps who want to wife them up. Well, I know you want to smash tonight, but my children come first. I'm not going to be able to do it tonight. Then 10 minutes later, they shoot a nude. They send a nude picture to Kevin and Sales, who comes over and pounds her out on the couch while the kids are asleep in the back room.
Human being who is subject to the same kind of temptations and mistakes and sins that I am. And so if I was just to believe him on everything I was supposed to do, that is putting him in a pedestal in a place that is not his. He is not the one seated at the right hand of God the Father.
He is not the one seated at the right hand of God the Father. So men have to be seated at the right hand of the Father to have authority over you. Is that it? Again, all of that nonsense is her telling her husband that he doesn't have the final word. That's all this is.
Jesus is, okay? Let's just get this straight. Our husbands are not automatically Jesus because they have male anatomy and we have female anatomy. It sounds ridiculous that I even have to say it.
Do you see how this chick is so neurotic? It gives me a headache. This chick is all over the back. Dude, she's like I don't know, maybe she's on speed or something. Look at the screen. It says still close to a mental breakdown. It's like she's glorifying the fact that she's this neurotic, emotionally charged creature, but then she wants to tell us about the rationality of sleeping around that comes from the rational Bible. Ay.
See, the thing is, I could fit every criteria that this article praises. Like, I don't have tattoos. I didn't have debt. I was a virgin for my husband.
She said, I could fit. You hear that? I could fit every one of these, and then she goes down the line. I'm a virgin, didn't have tattoos, didn't get married. Interesting.
I even could go beyond and say, like, I know how to...
Oh, also, if you guys are noticing the screen, and I'm going to point this out a little bit later, notice that she's not wearing a wedding ring. Right? If she was supposed to be, sanctified and redeemed and all that other psychobabble that church zealots like to spew, she would be wearing her wedding ring. More on that later.
Later on in the article, she talks about how college is bad because, women should be at home learning how to cook and garden. So yeah, I know how to cook, and I always have wanted to be able to stay home with my kids. However, even though I'm the definition of a lot of things that she praises, I could not wish to be further separated.
So let me get this straight. You say you're the epitome of what a man wants. A virgin? Teach your woman to do and be what you want and need with my mini course, How to Properly Instruct, Guide, and Develop Your Woman for a Potential Long-Term Relationship. The link is in the description. With no debt and no tattoos, but you want to be separated from this from this message? What sense does that make? Oh, I know. You aren't the epitome of the message. Guys, I don't know about her debt. because I can't prove that she has or doesn't have debt. But I can tell you this. This chick 100% was not a virgin when she married her husband. Otherwise, she wouldn't have such an adverse reaction to this article. She went to college and she has an outgoing personality. Case closed. Never mind the fact that she's sitting here justifying a woman's promiscuity. Never mind that at all. No. Outgoing personality. You can see that she's actually quite attractive. She has pretty eyes. She went to college. End of discussion. It's like she's telling us, even though I didn't sleep around, I hate it when I hear it's bad to sleep around. No, baby girl, you have slept around. That's why you're on this rant. Newsflash, Miss Emerson's a hit dog, guys. Period.
I noticed too when it comes to virginity, it's always a message of shame geared towards women. Like, if you've messed up, nobody's gonna want you now. She claims all these things, and at the end of the article, she basically says, so if you want to be happy, be debt-free, don't have tattoos, and be a virgin. And she makes it sound as though if you've neglected any one of those three things, it's now your fault. If you're single, it's your fault. If you're not happy, because this is God's punishment for something you did wrong.
No, sweetie, this isn't God's punishment. This is the simple concept of cause and effect. If you throw a ball up, it's going to come back down. If you eat too much, you're going to get fat. If you lift heavy weights and watch your diet, you're going to be in great shape. God doesn't make the ball come back down when you throw it up. Gravity does. God doesn't make you fat if you eat too much. The unhealthy food does. God doesn't give you a great physique if you lift heavy and eat clean. The weights and the good food does. God doesn't punish women with crushing debt, tattoos, and a high body count. The sexual market does, which means that men do. That's what this rant is really about. It's about this chick bitching and complaining about the fact that men don't want women with tatted up, used up bodies. Women can say whatever they want in terms of what they think God wants or doesn't want. But in the end, men are the ultimate authority because women want men, not God. You don't learn to cook and clean for God. You learn to cook and clean for a man. Women don't dress up for God. They dress up for men. Men have the final word, Miss Emerson, not God. And you know this, and this is why you're losing your mind right now.
I highly doubt she would say the same message to a guy who had the same thing.
And there it is, guys. There it is. You knew it was coming. A woman conflating men and women. A woman telling us that men and women are the same. Here we go. I
will be honest with you. My husband, whom I love endlessly, was 0 for 3 on all of these criteria that she set forth. He had a little bit of debt when we got engaged. If you've seen a picture of him, you know he has tattoos, and he was not a virgin for me.
That's why you married him! This is why you love him endlessly, Katie! Which proves again that sexual attraction is not symmetrical. This chick just sat here and ranted for, 7.5 minutes about how unfair it is for women to be held to different standards than men, and that women should hold men to the same standard, but she's married to a man with tattoos who slept around and had debt. We are not attracted to the same things you are, ladies. The things that make you attractive to us are not the same things that make us attractive to you. Katie Emerson just sat here and verified exactly that. She claimed she was a virgin with no tattoos and no debt, and that her husband is the opposite, and she loves him endlessly. Ladies, stop listening to people who don't practice what they preach. This girl is married to a man that fits the description of the article she's ranting against, but she's telling women that men and women are the same. Unbelievable. I was not